Hey yo, what up you guys? Well, it's another cool effect you can see behind me because that's how they built the fucking road right now. He's wanting to do this whole last street, which is pretty long. I think it's about a mile or so, this street at least. And then that one too. But they scheduled only one day, or ended up scheduling one day instead of 2 days. So now we have this office job, dude. It already has a hole in it too. But back to my car, the Nissan finally gave me a code, which is a P100 MAF sensor. I think that was causing the car to run lean. Actually, I popped the hood, I'm the mess. But yeah, I was driving the car the other day, but it was fine. And then I started up the next day, and the car runs funky. It lacks like power. So in the morning it was already funky. We go to the racetrack with my buddy's car, and then we come back and I drive the car again and it feels shittier. I go to this charity meet. When I'm driving the car home, it's even shittier. So I'm like, oh fuck, I hope the car is not gonna die on me. Then I scanned it in, and that's when I seen it's not just the lean code, usual lean code I get. It was actually the MAF sensor. So I got a replacement, and hopefully it will work out because I heard these are very particular, like picky MAF sensors. But I bought the Pduh one, which supposedly makes the ones for Nissan. So I went ahead and I washed my air filter just in case. I don't know if you can see the shit I collected in the box. I mean, yeah, definitely I can improve this design. So if I would put a small like net at the end of this thing and then just zip tie it up, so at least the bigger stuff wouldn't come out. But I don't know, then it will get stuck in the pipe. I should even look in the pipe just to make sure it's not full of shit, even though it shouldn't be. I'm gonna vacuum that shit out later or tomorrow because we gotta get ready for Christmas party. So today just a little time to work on the car and kind of chilling around, you know. And then they're chilling around as well, you know. I want to show you guys a trick. So my transmission dipstick, I don't know if you can see it, it seals but it tends to come out and there is all the dust, you know. So luckily it has like a 2-layer of sealing, but if your transmission would do this, all that shit that you see in there, the dirt or debris is will go in the transmission. I'm gonna show you guys a trick how to fix this problem. So I put some educational content in my videos so YouTube can be happy. Very simple. All you need pretty much is a hose clamp and 2 zip ties to do. Might even do this. Hose clamp is fucked up anyways. Oh fuck. Come on now. Yeah. Put one there. Put, well, you always have to cut it in order to check your transmission. So you gotta cut this. This is all what you do. It's not gonna be visible. So put the first zip tie around there, right? And then you put the second zip tie through the clamp. Or you can tighten the clamp after, so you don't even have to cut it sometimes. And then you pull it until it gets tight. And now, see the transmission stick? It barely moves. So even if it wiggles there, it's not gonna come out. Voila! Cool trick, ain't it? Fuck. And then when you simply ask me what's wrong with aftermarket stuff, the answer is very simple. Pretty much lines up, but the problem, the threads hit this, how you call it, hit this on the side. So I'm gonna have to take this piece and pretty much drill it and machine it out to make it fit. Alright, so before I drill, I want to show you guys how much is that little difference that this doesn't line up. I think that's one thing that sucks about cars. There's a lot of like aftermarket made shit doesn't line up, but the OEM is so much more expensive because the car doesn't worth it, you know, to buy OE all the time. Hopefully that should be enough to pretty much line it up. Alright you guys, looking at the time, I gotta wrap this thing up, so I didn't really record much, plus I'm low on space. Still gotta put this bracket back, but I put the new hose on with the new clamps, actual fuel line clamps, and I put this one on as well. I had to struggle a little bit, I don't know if you guys can see it where I'm pointing. I had to put RTV in between because there is a gap that doesn't seal and I don't want dust and shit to go in it. Pretty much I'm wrapping it up. I just put some zip ties on over there and then it's ready to go. Well, I'm gonna get ready for another Christmas party tonight, so I want to start it up tomorrow, but I think everything should be fine. Just gotta get some coolant for the car. So this car should be bussing, but we'll see. So I'll see you guys later. Guys, well, I forgot to record it. I started up the car and let it relearn the how you call it, the fuel trim. So I let it idle for a little bit until it reached operating temp. I took it around the block, but it was pretty good. So pretty much tomorrow I'm gonna see how it takes my booty to work. I'll go back to work tomorrow with a long weekend, and then next weekend we're gonna do the same and kind of bust our ass into next year. Yeah. You guys, today's video, well, fuck. I don't even know how to start this video because I think it's just gonna be certainly somewhere in one of the Nissan videos I'm gonna make. Well, I'm doing just a general checkup on the car, you know, checking my wheel bearings and such. I'm gonna have to mess with my preload on the suspension on the rear. Another thing I want to talk about is a lot of people overlook is brake maintenance, because I think probably the #1 system on the car, or any car you want to pretty much think of, is the brake system. That's kind of overlooked, and a lot of people ride until their brakes is fully gone. I got these kind of like semi-metallic pads. One thing is you gotta pay attention to his brake maintenance. Now I did these brakes back on the car I think in 2019. So besides these retaining clips is gonna be your sliding pins. I actually took this one already out and you know, lubed it up. Let me see, I don't want to take the boot out. Usually these are lubed up, but what happens with these pins, the other day I actually worked on a Tesla, and that's why I thought of this to do this. Let me just put it down. Is what happens, these can you know, dry up, and then they have rust instead of grease on these pins, and then your brake is not gonna function properly. Piston works, so you know, that's how it grabs your rotor and stops the car. You know, I seen one of those sliding pins before rust. Actually, it was at school on my buddy's Accord. You know, that sliding pin was so rusted it didn't even budge. We had to like tap it out. So that was an interesting experience back in the days. But yeah, pretty much it's a simple maintenance. It's not that difficult to take these apart, and even with minor knowledge you can do it at home. You know, you can make all the power in any car, you know, but you don't want to overlook your brakes, the most important kind of feature on the car. So the other thing I was doing, if you get coilovers, what happens is they start rusting and corroding, and mainly it's not even the spring area but the thread area where the coilover is adjustable for height and for preload. The easiest way to clean that is with some WD-40. You just go through on it with the rag and wipe it off, so that way the rust is not gonna chew up the threads. Clean my brakes a little bit, and I'm gonna go around and do all that stuff. I definitely you know, recommend bleeding them as well, but I bled them not too long ago, so I just leave that out of the list. Axle on this Ford and Nissan Maximas, and probably a bunch of other applications, they run this style of you know, axles on the front. Thing is, with this one it's noisy, but the other day I was working on this R32 Nissan GTR, and what I saw or seen on the car, they put this like double-sided little how would you call it, like padded material around the axle nut, so the little fucking locking mechanism, or locking fucking I wouldn't call it a nut really, because it's not a nut, but like the locking cap. Now I don't have that material, but what I figured is I'm gonna try to put some tape in here, and probably the closest I could find, because I don't have really stuff at home like that. This will be this Gorilla tape. Should hold up alright under hot conditions. But this way, I'm not gonna have this little jingus chime around, because it's very noisy sometimes. I try to lock the cutter pin around it so it doesn't move, but eventually it just ended wiggle itself out. There we go, you guys. So that way, I don't know if it's visible that much. Put tape in it. I just gotta fix the outside so the tape is visible.